Here's Corin.
Thank you very much. Here we are. This is the studio of Good Luck Buddha, street artist in Texas, and a good friend of mine. Oh, look, there he is now. There's Buddha. Want to have a seat and have a chat with me? Yeah, take your time, buddy. I'll get you on the closer to the mic side. I have a loud, booming voice. Right over right in there. That should be about right. What's up, people?
What up, man?
This is my man, Good Luck Buddha,
How's it
and
going?
you know, instead of talking about what we've been talking about, we're going to switch it up and just kind of talk a little bit more about art and stuff like that. My man. So everybody has a real name, but what was the birth of your street art moniker? What was it that you know compelled you to go towards this idea of the name Good Luck Buddha, which is such a charming name?
Yeah, it was a process for sure. It took a lot of thinking. I was pretty dead set on having a name that kind of had something to do with luck and, you know, prosperity, and wanted some kind of image or imagery that was easily recognizable from the masses. And Buddha just came into my head, and I was trying to think of something to go in front of Buddha, and I was thinking Lucky Buddha and, you know, those kind of type things, and it just didn't have a right ring. And then Good Luck Buddha came, and it just kind of had a...
Lucky Buddha's not bad though. I can see how that was, but Good Luck Buddha just is I get it.
It's a little different, and Lucky Buddha like is a beer, so
okay.
So I didn't want anything that anybody else had already. So Good Luck, when it came, it just kind of stuck, and been running with it ever since.
Yeah, and the art's been great, and we know each other because we're in the same, I guess we could call it more of an art collective, a worldwide art collective called The Chosen Few. I'm actually wearing a shirt of my buddy's crew called LOD, which is Lokes on Dope. They're an old school LA graph crew, you know, hardheads, and but that's, you know, the old school scene. So when we connected up, you had no idea I was an actor or anything like that.
No, I just knew you from your street art and your graffiti. And actually, when I was getting into the scene, you guys had a street stamp that, you know, we sought out and looked for and finally found. And it was kind of like a moment when some of me and my friends found it and, you know, snapped pictures of it. And then
that was the one with Wonderlust,
yep.
The Australian artist, the combo we did, a little combo there, which has been kind of a fun theme that I've seen happen. Is this that, you know, that's why I love being in the collective with you guys, is this sharing of art and the culture all over the world. Because I mean, you know, you can tell them a little bit about how the membership is around the world.
Yeah, there's a lot, and you know, everybody's got their own skill set, and everybody's real friendly, and you know, you ask them a question, they'll show you how to do it and help you, and it's all about growth and getting, you know, the best you that you can. And I think that the TCF, you know, since I've became or part of my art and everything, has grown exponentially. And
oh yeah, dude, you're killing it.
And it just everybody that, you know, I look up to are now my peers, so it's nice to have that kind of all come to fruition.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, what was it that originally inspired you to go the street art direction, you know, versus kind of more of a fine art or whatever direction?
Just the openness, like you don't have to ask for permission, and that's something that kind of always sat well with me, is that, you know, I do what I want, when I want, where I want, and, you know, there's little resistance. A lot of people, you know, is cliquey, and you have to be a part of this group to get in here, and you have to know this person. And with street art, you know, you just find an open spot, it's yours, and sometimes it rides and sometimes it doesn't. And
yeah, or sometimes it gets dissed,
and it's just all part of the game. And you know, after a while, people start recognizing you and respect you, and it kind of all comes full circle, you know. And sometimes your stuff hits the right key with the right people and makes, you know, their life better.
Well,
So,
you have a nice message, you know, a
yeah.
lot, you know, on many of your pieces, you know, you'll have something on there, have a nice day, or things like
Yeah,
that.
today's your lucky day.
Today's your lucky day is a good one.
And a lot of that, you know, I felt, you know, at the time, you know, it was good to put all that positiveness out there. And then I have a deeper, darker side that, you know, I have more skulls and get out while you can and skeletons and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, it was interesting that when you came up with the get out while you can. Hold on, guys, I'll just show you something real quick. Just get this. I know it's in pieces. It broke there, but I'll show. I'll just be able to show them. So you can see how at one time this was a full piece. So you have you know, your classic Buddhist monk in the orange robe carrying the sign "Get out while you can," and he's the skeletal version of himself. This is amazing stencil work as well, by the way.
Thank you.
Really, really clean. Almost looks hand painted, you know. And oddly enough, the orange robe was taken on back in I can't remember the exact time period, but it was you know, around the time of it might have been like 1200 BC or whatever. No, I'm sorry, 600, 800 BC, something like that. But the point is that criminals used to have to wear the orange robes.
Oh,
That's how they knew people were criminals, and so they had adopted the orange robe as sort of a symbol of this lower criminal untouchable class, kind of. Which is really interesting. So when on the Get Out While You Can, what was your expression behind it? Because I thought that it was just so oddly enough, when you came up with this, it was right around when, you know, things started kind of going to shit here in the U.S.
Yeah.
In the recently.
Originally spawned from a trip to New Orleans. I saw some Banksy pieces there. And wanted to do kind of a homage to him with the Get Out While You Can, but wanted to tie it into my character as well and kind of have its own life of its own with me. And started off with just an older Buddhist sitting down with the sign, and then kind of spawned into a younger version of that guy holding the sign, and now I have the skeleton version of that guy. So over time the characters develop and kind of get their own day in the sun, so to speak, out in the streets. And it's kind of cool to see the evolution, you know, from, you know, different characters, but with all the same kind of message and kind of the same ideals around it.
Yeah, for sure. And as far as what it is that, you know, you feel like you're sharing, you know, this is another cool image of his, you know, where you have Homer Simpson in the Buddhist pose and all of that, and but what the overall message that maybe, because with my street art, I'm not necessarily trying to get a message across as much as I'm just like putting up cool art that I like to make. Some of it has a little bit of a message to me because I use my son and my daughter in a lot of my art, you know, so it's more of a personal thing because I travel a lot. Which in traveling a lot, I've gotten to put up your work in a lot of places as well.
And I appreciate that. It helps, you know, get that name out there and gets a lot of different eyes that wouldn't normally see.
I saw that photo you posted recently from that you got still riding in Israel and Tel Aviv.
Yep. Saw that the other day.
That's rad.
It's so crazy.
I can't believe it's still up.
Where these things pop up and, you know, where they ride forever. And
And our buddy Sleep is Famous is here too, and I'm gonna talk to him in a moment. But yeah, we've gotten some pieces up of his all over the world too, man. Some fun places. It's just an incredible experience. And also we're gonna go out a little bit later and do a little street art together. But that'll be a different video. Overall, you know, do you have an underlying kind of a sublime message to what it is you're trying to put out there for people?
I have different levels of it. Like, I have the positive image and stuff, and I want people to see that and it bring a smile to their day, and, you know, get them, you know, kind of a you know, in a better mindset, a better mood. And then I got
it's a unifying message.
Yeah, and it's just, that's the positive, the goodness. And then with the other stuff, I like to invoke thought. I want them to, you know, see it and then be, you know, conscious of what's going on in their head, what they're thinking I did, and why I did that message, and basically get their mindset off of what they were currently thinking and have them think and, you know, put some thought on what this is, why is it here, and why am I seeing it kind of deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, the skulls obviously have been a classic kind of artistic expression for thousands of years. I mean, I know that it had to be 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 BC or whatever. There was a clan of they'd be a European type of clan in the northern Grecian area, but they would when their loved ones would die, they would live with the bones in their house. They would bury them under the living room. And sometimes they would take the skull and cover it in clay and paint it and decorate it and still communicate with their ancestors and stuff like that. So the image that the skull you use invokes, it's interesting because it's all going to be relative to what somebody else thinks. Somebody might see it, and if they have their own, kind of a weird, like, maybe dark image that they've created for themselves, they might look at it and go, ooh, that's me. Or if they're like, oh, wow, that represents something like, be careful in life, death is always around the corner, or I know you touched on it, but with kind of the skull stuff, because that was the original art, because that's sort of what I saw of yours first, was some of your classic skull cutouts and stencils.
Yeah, so it was a while of trying to find my voice, my style, and I'm still kind of struggling with that to this day. But the skulls I've always been attracted to since I was a youngin', and always wanted to add that element to it. So one of my first designs was a skull with the bandana on. And that I wrote and kept. I still to this day still put that up, and it's one of the images that are most iconic to me, and I have the most connectedness to it. Some of these items I make and I put up in the streets, and I don't really feel a connection with it. But this one particularly with the skulls, it just kind of, I think it captures me in a sense, and it has this mystical, like, thought-provoking kind of look to it that makes you wonder, again, why is this here? What am I seeing? Why am I just now noticing it? So it's definitely one of my favorites. And then some of the other skulls that I do are just like one-offs, and I always come back and collab on that original skull and do different variations of it, because to me it's just most iconic to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to wrap it up, because I know we don't want to go too long with it, but what would be a message that you would have? Because I know for myself, having an artistic expression is essential to my sanity. You know what I mean? But if you could make say a recommendation to people out there who are kind of lost in their way, especially the younger generation who are kind of lost, would there be some kind of message that you'd be able to share off the top of your head? I'm not trying to set you up, but
for sure.
Is there something there in relationship to the artistic expression and that? I'm not sure what it is, but is there something there that...
Yeah, I'd say go ahead and do what you want to do. Like, I waited too long, I feel, in life to start expressing myself artistically. I was always drawn to art, interested me, but I never really explored it as any kind of side hobby or gig or anything like that, or even a way to express myself. But once I did, I felt like overwhelming, like calming kind of nature, and it was kind of therapeutic when you get out in the streets and it is middle of the night and it's quiet, and you get a more than just putting out art. It's an internal feeling, and I'd say just go out and do it. Don't ask questions, just do it.
Right on, brother. I love it. We are going to do it. You're going to watch us do it. My man.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
You bet, dude. You bet. Good luck, Buddha, in that house.
To the man upstairs.
To the man.
You see?
Oh, look at that. There's one of mine right there. I brought that stencil.
Nice.
Yeah, I got this stencil in the car. It's giant.
I got this one.
All right. We're going to talk to... what do you got? Oh, yeah, look at that bad boy. The old pike face. That's OG. It's still I still got the pike face riding out there in the middle of, like, on the way to College Station.
On that little blue barn or
on that old crap, whatever. No. That one's still there. That shed thing, yeah. That's rad. Yeah. So you can see here some of the goodness. You can see part of the skull face right there. This was a cool piece that was done by an artist that we work with sometimes. She's really good as well. Be Kind Art, and this is a bunch of people from TCF. They're different characters and stuff. That's rad. So now we're gonna talk to. You wanna cover your face? Come on over, man.
All right.
We're gonna sign off and talk to Sleep is Famous.
Kid on recording.
Yeah, I hate the way I sound. Personally.
Just doing a little mixing, a little paste here. Getting it ready. Oh yeah. I'm gonna get paste between my toes. It's on, buddy. That's how we do it. Oh yeah.